Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's Pick a Crystal reading is going to be all about you, your energy, your aura, your vibe that you put out into the world. And I hope that this reading can be confirmation for you guys of the energy that you are giving off, or maybe you will learn some things about yourself that you didn't see before. But we're gonna take a look at this from a lot of different angles. We're going to start by looking at your current energy, so the energy that you're putting out at this particular point in your life, and then we'll look more so at your overall energy, who you are as a person, who you are as a soul. We'll look at your aura as well, so what your aura feels like, what it looks like, possible colors of your aura, and then finally we'll see how your energy affects other people and how other people view you. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of these crystal points up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Smoky Fluorite. Number 2 is Apatite. Number 3 is Green Opal. And number 4 is Sunstone. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Smoky Fluorite, this is going to be your reading. I do have a list of everything that is going to be covered in today's reading. I more or less mentioned all of this in the intro, but just in case you missed it and you wanted to know exactly the breakdown of the reading, this is it. Feel free to pause it if you want to read through it, or maybe you already read it. But like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to start off with a little energy check to make sure this is your group. And to do that, we are going to be taking a look at your current energy that you are in right now and what the outcome will be of you being in this energy. So let's get started. For my group number 1s, your current energy is the Page of Wands, who is very cute in this deck. So what this tells me for my group number 1s is that at this stage in your life, you are ready for a new adventure or a new challenge or some kind of new excitement in your life. And in fact, you could be in an energy right now where you are feeling quite excited for what's to come, excitable in general. Maybe there is something exciting on the horizon for you that is like on your calendar, or you can just kind of energetically feel that there's something really exciting and fun around the corner that is happening for you. This would also indicate that you have a little spring in your step, that you're feeling energetic, perhaps you are feeling youthful or rejuvenated, like the world is sparkling, the world is bright and vivid, and it's a very exciting energy. This can also indicate that there is going to be a start of a new creative project for you, or maybe you have recently started working on a new creative project, starting a new hobby, or getting back to a hobby that you used to really enjoy doing, and overall feeling inspired, like feeling full of creative ideas, and also having the motivation to act on them and to bring them into the world. So this is a really awesome energy for you guys. And what is the outcome of this energy? Fulfillment. And we have the number 21, which is the number of the World card in tarot, and also 222 on the camera as I'm showing you guys this card. So fulfillment, completion, significant accomplishment, recognition for your efforts. This could also indicate travel. Some of you guys might be going on a trip soon, which is going to be really exciting and inspiring for you. This energy is also going to help you achieve your goals, or it's going to lead you to like a really big accomplishment. So if you act on these urges to start a new adventure or to start a new project, it's going to lead to success, recognition, and fulfillment. This card says that the realization of your goal is right around the corner, like it's right in front of you. So take this time to just take a breather, check in with yourself, make sure that you are continuously putting out positive energy, And it also says to take your next action from a calm place, and then you will be successful. So it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of exciting things going on for you. But there's also a little piece of advice to not get carried away, maybe to not be too impulsive, and to make important decisions from a calm place. And then we also have energy field. Get back what you put into the universe. Beautiful. So as you're putting out all of this vibrant energy, the world is just going to be giving it right back to you. I have a feeling, whether you are planning to or not, this next season of your life is going to be filled with spontaneous adventures. Things may not go exactly as you planned, but in a good way. It's like positive interruptions to your plans. You may spontaneously go on a trip or go to events and meet new people. It's a feeling of new, fresh experiences, as well as like a spontaneous, fun-loving and adventurous energy that I think you're currently in or stepping into. And then we have the keywords of manifestation, attraction, and momentum. So being in this energy is also making you a manifestation magnet. And we did kind of see that here with, anything you start right now, because you're starting it in this inspired energy, it's going to be brought to a beautiful fulfillment for you. I think this could be a very successful time for you. You could be reaching an important milestone in your life or an important milestone in a project that you're working on. And you're also gaining recognition. I think you're also going to be in an energy where you're more sociable and extroverted, and you're a highly likable person in general, but there's something about your current energy that is very likable and attractive to others. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people attracted to you and admiring you at this time. So if this sounds like your current energy or an energy that you are trying to step into, then keep watching. If not, you might want to try listening to a different group. But we are going to move into the next oracle cards. And so for this part of the reading, this is just going to be your overall energy. This was more of like your short-term current energy. This is the overall energy of who you are as a person and as a soul. I also saw 555, by the way, so that's another indication that there's big change coming into your life. And yeah, okay, let's take a look. We are starting off with Tiger's Eye and Courage. Big energy coming from this crystal. It matches what we just read. Again, this is like taking action towards what you want, assuming a leadership role in your own life. This gives me the vibe of being really the main character right now. You are really taking charge in your life, going after what you want. This is a great energy for success in your career, as well as just overall confidence, like really shining and really feeling yourself. We have personal growth with the number 7. Libra energy with the number 7 again. And then we have Ghost. So the overall energy of your soul, we have the keyword courage here. So I definitely think your soul has kind of a pioneering energy. I think they go into their incarnations really wanting to live life to the fullest and to experience everything that they can. I am getting the sense that your soul might lean more towards lifetimes that are more influenced by your free will rather than like fate or circumstances out of your control. That doesn't mean that you don't have a divine plan for your life, but the plans for your life may be a little bit more flexible. And a lot of your life, I think, is left up to your free will. It seems like this is how your soul likes to live, prefers to do their incarnations. I personally believe that, our free will is paramount to our souls. And so even if you did have a life that was more led by destiny or fate, that would likely be something you opted into, like something you chose for your lifetime for whatever reason. It could be for a variety of reasons, but yeah, I feel like your soul likes to be free and kind of make their story as they go. I think that they're bold and brave, like this card suggests. And I think you have like a strong energy. There's something unforgettable about your energy. I think you have a lot of charm and you leave a strong impression on people. Even if people were only to meet you for a few seconds or a few minutes, it's like they won't forget you. There's something about the way you carry yourself, the way you laugh, the sparkle in your eye, the way you talk. Like, you have a really bright light. You have that kind of ray of sunshine energy, and I do think that it shines out of you effortlessly. It's not necessarily something that you're trying to put on, but your energy is infectious. It's weird, you could have an energy that is intimidating to some people, but it's coming through like, I don't really get that vibe from you. Maybe it's like a select type of person who would feel intimidated by you. And maybe it is because you come across as like confident and sure of yourself. And if you have a big personality or a bubbly personality, people might have their own like biases or their own projections where that comes across as intimidating to them. Although it is coming through quite strongly that that's not who you are. So maybe it's like a way that people misunderstand you. But also with this personal growth card, I do think you come across as someone who really has their stuff together, who really has their life together or is in the process of doing so, has a good sense of who they are and where they're going, and is currently building and really growing in life. I think this is how people perceive you. And I think this is accurate. I think your soul is really invested in growth, and that's why they want to have as many experiences as possible. I think your soul is really interested in expansion and experiencing new things and learning new lessons. I'm also getting the feeling that from lifetime to lifetime, your soul might choose very like different circumstances to be born into. So your past lives might be quite different from your current lives. Like the body that you're born into or the place that you are born, whether that's Earth or somewhere else, and the experiences that you have. They want to experience as much as possible because they find this will contribute the most to their growth and expansion, and also help them to understand more people. It's like your soul wants to put themselves in as many shoes as possible, not just to understand themselves better, but to understand others better. And that might be something, about you as a person in this lifetime, is that you really seek to understand and empathize other people's situations. And you might like to put yourself in different roles so that you can get different perspectives. And I think just naturally you have a knack of empathizing with others, of matching or mirroring others' energy. I don't think it's necessarily that you like absorb or take on other people's energy, but you're good at matching it and mirroring it so that the other person feels comfortable and feels understood. I think the vast majority of people really do feel at ease around you because of the light that you give off. You just seem like such a kind and pure person. You seem like someone who has really pure intentions, and you're someone who has integrity and holds yourself to a really, really high standard. Like you could not, for example, betray someone or go behind someone's back or intentionally hurt someone, because like that plays into your self-respect. Like it's your moral code, and you couldn't go against that. I want to talk about this ghost card a little bit. This is giving me the vibe of mediumship, especially like something about this Libra energy, the way you balance both sides. Some of you guys could be like a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead, or like between the 3D world and the spirit world. You know, 7 is a highly spiritual number as well. This is the number of the crown chakra. You could have the ability to communicate with those who have crossed over to the other side, or just communicate with those who reside in the spirit realm. And I think that it's funny, there's a message coming through, like in spirits that are not incarnate, they take a liking to you. Maybe because they know that you can see them, or they know that you can feel them, and that you have a desire to understand them and work with them. Like there's something about beings in the spirit realm favoring you, or taking a liking to you, or wanting to communicate with you. I think your crown chakra is very open, and I think that you receive a lot of messages and downloads from spirits with this ghost card. It could also be indicating there's a lot of people, like we spoke about before, who are attracted to you and who admire you. And there could be some people who wish that you were more present in their life, or that you were more available, or that you communicate with them more. But there's a feeling that you have a lot going in your life. And so like you're busy, or like you're busy with work, or with your creative pursuits, or with working on yourself, with your spiritual practices. And there's some people who feel like you being busy is kind of taking you away from them. And I'm not saying that you're like ignoring or neglecting anyone. I just think that that's the subjective perception of some people who would just like more of your energy, would like more of your attention. And I do get the sense that there are several, like at least 3 people in your life who it's like they would really like you to be more present, or they would like to have a closer relationship with you, or like wish that you could talk more. People who really feel your absence, but they don't like they understand, I think is what I want to say. I wanted to say they don't take it as a personal thing, like, oh, group number 1 must not like me. I think they just see it more as like, wow, group number 1 has so much going, like they're busy with so many things, they're really living their best life. And so there may be people who just miss you, or wish that you could be around more. I just heard the word VIP. So there may be people who perceive your closer social circle and your close friends as like VIP, and they would love to have a spot at that table and have, you know, a closer spot in your life, but they understand that those positions are limited because you have a lot going, and maybe you're quite selective with your energy as well. But it seems like there's people admiring you from the sidelines and wanting to be closer. This could also be an indication, like if there's someone who ghosted you, they could be thinking about you a lot. Or maybe like if you ghosted someone, they're thinking about you a lot. Yeah. Is there anything else to mention now? I think with Libra, you know, this goes back to like fairness and integrity that we spoke about in your character, you being likable to many people. I do think you come across as quite charming and graceful, whether you feel that way or not. And you're very beautiful as well, because Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty. Like Libra is very beautiful, graceful, gracious, polite, like just lovely to be around. And okay, I think that's all for now. So let's go into this is the Crystal Wisdom Oracle deck. And so for this, we're going to take a look more so at your aura. So what your aura feels like. Why are some of these cards flipped the other way? There we go. That should be all of them, hopefully. What your aura feels like, the man, the energy that you exude and possible colors of your aura. Okay, so we have Herkimer with dreams. I am constantly manifesting my dreams into reality. So we had that message of manifestation once before. That's definitely a confirmation for some of you that you are very close to manifesting something in your life that is very important to you, like a big dream, a big goal of yours. We even had in this fulfillment card, it says the achievement of your goal is right around the corner. It's right in front of your eyes. You can, it's like, it's so close you can almost taste it. We also have, I don't know how to say that, Dioptase with love. I am love and love is me. And then we have Moonstone with cycles. I am in the divine flow of my soul rhythms and life cycles. So group number 1, there is just a vibe about you that feels effortless. That is how you come off to other people. I don't know if you feel that way, but you definitely give off this vibe that you are super successful and super beautiful, and you just move through life with such grace. You make it look easy, you make it look effortless. It just looks like you are really in the flow of life. People might consider you to be a lucky person, like things just fall into place for you. This could also indicate that you come across as someone who is feminine or in touch with their feminine energy. I think this is definitely showing you as a very loving person. You come across as very compassionate, the type of person who would not hurt a fly, the type of person who would save a little beetle that got turned over onto its back, like that you have love and compassion for all beings. And I do think people would describe you as lovely as well. And I think there's a lot of people who love you or who have very, very strong feelings for you. It's like you have a lot of admirers, or when people fall for you, they fall for you really hard. I don't know if that is welcome for you or not, but there's a feeling of like people fall really, really hard for you. I think a lot of people believe that you have everything it takes to achieve your dreams. You come across as someone who is very, very capable. And I think anyone who knows you, like, they have no doubt that you're gonna do it all. You're gonna achieve it all. People might dream about you as well. Maybe someone who ghosted you is dreaming about you, or someone like who admires you is dreaming about you. If someone's energy has been popping up in your life a lot and you're like, I don't get it, like I don't feel like drawn to this person, but they just keep showing up, it could be that someone has feelings for you or someone is thinking about you a lot, and that is causing their energy to pop up a lot on your end. So as for your aura colors, it's interesting. This is like yellow going into like green, turquoise, and then going into blue. So we have kind of a chunk of the color wheel here. Your aura could be any of these colors, or it could have tinges of multiple. For example, even this moonstone, it's like blue and then it has some tinges of yellow in it. Or you could be like yellow with some hues of green, but it looks like that yellow, green, blue section of the color wheel for your aura. It's funny, I was thinking yellow at first just because you have such a bright energy. You have that ray of sunshine kind of energy about you, but I could also see blue because you do come across as like poised and put together, and you could have a soothing or healing effect on others as well. So we're going to get into the tarot now. I just saw 2244, by the way. And now we're going to see more about how other people perceive you. For this part of the reading, I'm just going to say they. So it's really up to you if you want this they to be like people in general, or a specific they, like a specific person or group of people. So I'll leave that up to you. If there is a specific person or people whose perception of you you would like to know. Just keep them in mind as I'm shuffling. Funny how I ask you to think about someone and then the love card gets blown a little bit. Someone is in love with you. Oh my god. And the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So definitely, group number 1, there's someone who has super, super strong feelings for you. Okay, let's give this one more shuffle. The camera is really, really wanting to focus on this personal growth card. So if you guys have been working on your personal growth, perhaps this is something that has made you more attractive. It could also be something that is benefiting your relationships. And if you haven't seen this already, I think you'll start to see the positive impact of this on your relationships. You'll start to be shown moments in your relationships where you can look and be like, damn, I've really grown a lot. Like the way I handled this situation, the way I reacted to this person, the way we resolved this conflict, like I've really grown. I should really be proud of myself. And you should. This could also be a message that the person who has feelings for you has been focusing a lot on their own personal growth journey because they feel like this will make them more attractive to you. They feel like committing to their personal growth journey will make them more attractive to you, or more ready for you, or they may even see it as them becoming more worthy of you if they focus on their growth. Yeah, there's literally Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, like someone making you an offer or someone expressing their feelings for you. Group number 1, I really hope this is someone you like as well. How do they, whichever they, group number 1, would like this to be, people in general or a specific person or people, whatever they, group number 1, would like to hear about, how do they perceive group number 1? We have the Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Chariot. And then at the bottom of the deck we have the Hierophant. Okay, so we have the most strong energies here are, well, of course, Libra, but we also have Taurus and Cancer. Libra, Taurus, and Cancer are the strongest energies present here. And then we also have, oh, this is more Libra actually. And then we do have fire energy and earth energy. So fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Earth is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yes, I know that is a lot of signs to mention. But this is coming through at the bottom of the deck. So the overall archetype, how people see you, with this Hierophant card, again, someone who really has their stuff together. They could see you as someone who is very successful in the conventional sense, in the traditional sense. They can also see you as someone who is very knowledgeable and very good at what you do. And you would be one of the top authorities to speak on what you do. So for example, if you are a tarot reader, just an example, they would consider you to be one of the most knowledgeable people in tarot, and like they would value your opinions the most, or they would value your interpretations the most, because they're like, okay, group number one has really dedicated a lot of time and effort to this, and they really have the gift. So if it's anyone who can, you know, speak on this matter, it would be group number one. Of course, that can be about literally anything. But it could be that they see you as very highly skilled, highly knowledgeable, highly experienced in a certain field, that like you really know what you're talking about, or just in general that they see you as like a super knowledgeable person and like reasonable. They could see you as someone who would give very good advice, and they just kind of trust what you say. And you do come across as a confident person, so it could also be the confidence with which you speak and convey your opinions. You come across as someone who has really done their research and who is really educated and knows what the heck they're talking about. And I think you also come across as someone who means what they say, says what they mean, as someone who is truthful. And yeah, there's like a lot of weight to what you say, or there's a lot of weight to your opinion. They really value your view on things. They really value your perspective. You come across as having that kind of authority. And again, you come across as someone who has a strong sense of self, like who really knows who they are and their purpose and where they're going. That, oh no, I'm drawing a blank. I think I wanted to say, okay, I don't know. If it's relevant, it will come back, but I just had my brain like short-circuited and I got cut off and now I can't think about it. Just that you're really connected to your higher self, really connected to your soul. So if they're spiritual, they would see you as someone who has a lot of spiritual awareness and is really connected to your soul. If they are not spiritual, they would just see you as someone who is really connected to like your higher sense of self and your higher purpose. And there's also something about you being reasonable. Like you have really reasonable takes on things, and you are very good at, you know, thinking logically and thinking critically about things and being objective and just being reasonable and being practical. These could actually be indicating that you have a very good balance of your practical side and your spiritual side. And you just come across as dependable. And I'm saying come across just because like that's how they perceive you. I'm not saying like you come across that way, but it's not actually the case. I think these are very true qualities about you. That's just the wording that I'm using for this part. Definitely they perceive you as a very hardworking person, with the Chariot here and the Page of Pentacles again, and even the Knight of Wands. Again, there's this feeling of like, I know what I want and I have the inner motivation. I have like the fire and the passion to go for it, and I'm gonna make a practical plan and take practical steps to get to where I need to go. So they perceive you as very ambitious and very determined, and again, very capable. They feel like there's nothing that you can't do. If you woke up one day and decided that you wanna do X project, they have zero doubt in their mind that you're going to go out there and be successful in X project. Like they really believe that you could do anything because you have the drive, the ambition, you have the intelligence. Like that's really being emphasized. You really have the intelligence, and you have the consistency and the perseverance that like you could make anything happen. And they see you as a wonderful partner to have in any capacity. Like it would be a joy to work with you. It would be a joy to be your friend. It would be a joy to be your significant other, because whatever capacity you're in someone's life, they can't help but being motivated by you. They can't help but be inspired by you. But with the Four of Swords, I do feel like it's an energy that you give off gently and effortlessly. It's not like you're in people's face being like, get off your butt and do something, and like pushing them to work really hard. And you definitely don't come across as someone who has like a toxic relationship with work and productivity, or who overexerts yourself. It's something that, it's an energy that you just give off to people when they're around you. And when they see the enthusiasm with which you go about your life, and when they see the results you're producing, and when they see the life that you're living, it just lights the fire in them. It inspires them. You stir them into action without, directly telling them to take action, or without being forceful in any kind of way. It's just by you being. It's just by the example that you give off. That's really your energy. You stir people into action just by leading by example. For those of you who are concerned with helping others and making a difference in the world, and you're wondering what you can do, I think one really amazing thing you can do is just keep being you. I know it sounds cheesy, but keep being you and keep living your life, because you are really someone who leads by example. And you don't need to be like yelling on the rooftops for people to do stuff. They just watch you live, and it inspires them to go down their own path. And I think they perceive you, again, as someone who's in touch with their higher self and with some kind of higher energies or higher powers. If they're spiritual, they might say you're connected to spirit, you're connected to source energy, you're connected to your guides. If they are not spiritual or unsure, they might just say you're tapped into some kind of higher power, or who knows, they might just say you're lucky. But however they word it, what they really are picking up here is that you have divine support and you are connected to it. The Knight of Wands really makes me think of infectious energy. So you could have an infectious smile, an infectious laugh. Again, it could be really motivating just to be around you and just to witness the work that you do and witness what you accomplish. I just notice with the Page of Pentacles facing away from the Knight, again, they could perceive, it's like they perceive there's this aura around you, like you have more important things to do, or you have more important places to be. I feel like this might be more of a projection that certain people put onto you, because I don't think you're like giving off that vibe when you're with people. But I think this person, or some people, perceive you as just like being very important and having a lot of important things to do with important people, and as kind of like a higher up person, that if they're talking to you or if they're with you, they might feel like they don't have much to offer you, because like you already have it all, or like there's something more important that you could be doing. Maybe just something that people project onto you sometimes. If you're at the start of like a new project or of a journey in your career, I think that's something that they're really excited about, and again, like have no doubt that you would be successful. But yeah, there's definitely some people who feel intimidated, and now that I'm reading into this energy more, I think that feeling of intimidating comes from their perception that you're out of their league. And I feel like there's people who have considered reaching out to you, like to offer you something, like to send a message of appreciation, or to express a desire to get closer to you, or to give you something or offer you something. But then they're just like, oh, they're not going to want to anyway, or they're not going to respond anyway, and then they just never do it. So it's like you have silent admirers on the sidelines. You have silent supporters who love your energy, are inspired by you, but are just maybe a little shy to come forward. I have a feeling that you have a lot more supporters than you realize, or you have a lot more admirers than you realize. It's just that they're silent or shy for whatever reason. Very interesting. And I want to make sure that I talked about everything. I think so. So my group number ones, these are all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, which, by the way, I forgot to say thank you so much to the community on Patreon for suggesting this topic today. If you would like to suggest topics for future readings and also access, I think it's over 70 now, over 70 exclusive timeless pick a card readings, then you can do so by joining Patreon. We would love to have you. It's a really, really sweet community. Everyone is just an angel. I'm also going to link my music channel. The song that was at the start of this video is an original song, and I'm also going to link my latest release. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that's going to be linked down below. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, anything that I do. I'm super grateful to have you here. Group number ones, I'm sending lots of love to you, to any specific person who may have appeared in this reading, and I'm also sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Apatite, this is going to be your reading. So I do have a list of everything that's going to be covered in the reading today. I basically mentioned all of this stuff in the intro, but just in case you missed the intro and you wanted a full breakdown of the reading, here it is. Feel free to pause it if you want more time to read it. But like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to start off by just taking a look at your current energy, like the energy that you're in at this particular point in your life. So if that resonates with you, then that's your sign that this is your group. If not, you might want to try a different reading. But we're going to see your current energy as well as the outcome of you being in this energy. So without further ado, let's get started. Group number twos, your current energy is being represented by the 10 of Swords. So for some of you, this could be an indication that you are going through an ending in your life, or that you feel a cycle in your life is coming to a close. And this could be a transition that is quite tiring for you. It could be physically, mentally, emotionally draining. For some of you, I hope that this is not the case, but it could be an ending that you are kind of sad about, or a lot sad about. If there is not an ending happening in your life, don't worry. I don't think this is like a bad omen that something is going to end. I think that there's an alternative interpretation here of just being really freaking tired. I often see the 10 of Swords as someone who is just mentally drained, like either their plate is really full or they just have a million things going through their head all day, every day, and they just can't seem to find like a moment of quiet or peace of mind or clarity. They can't seem to find that reassurance that everything is going to be okay, and they might be feeling a little bit, highly strung, worked up, or just really, really in your head. This is Gemini energy, and if you have Gemini placements, you will know that it can be quite a handful because your mind is always running like a million miles an hour and thinking about a million things that you have to do or want to do or should do. And it's just hard to find like that peace and quiet in your mind. So you might be in this kind of flustered, frazzled energy right now. Or like we first mentioned, this could be indicative of you going through an ending in your life. I do want to mention, when I pulled out this card, the camera timer was at 111. So I feel like if you are going through an ending, your spiritual team is really reaffirming to you that after this ending will come a beautiful new beginning. But let's see what the outcome is for you in this situation. And we have signals. So this is like signs from the universe, signs from your spirit guides. And oh, interesting that we have the number 9, which is like you're nearing the end of a cycle in your life. Number 4 is also about cycles, the natural order of things. This lets me know that there is a fated ending and beginning that is happening in your life. You're transitioning into a new chapter, but it's all according to plan. Things are happening exactly as they are meant to. This is actually a part of you stepping into your destiny. So this card says that there's a lot of things, there's a lot of messages around you. There's a lot of things for you to pick up on. In your daily life, there are signs that are not hidden, but they could go unnoticed by you. And so this card is saying, be sure that you're not missing the signs, because when you pay attention to them, you could have some really deep realizations or some really deep epiphanies. And it makes sense that this card is coming out, because very often when we are so frazzled and in our head, we stop paying attention to what is right in front of us. And so maybe this is your spiritual team saying that they've been trying to communicate to you. They've been trying to send you signs. Maybe you have been missing their messages, or maybe you have been dismissing them. Like you see them, but you're like, oh no, that's wishful thinking. Oh no, that's unrealistic. That's just in my head. You could be like overthinking and then seeing signs that are trying to help you, but then overthinking about those. So I think this group, we really need to just take some deep breaths and recenter ourselves, because your spiritual team is here and they want to communicate to you that everything is going to be okay. They may even be trying to communicate to you solutions to some of the problems that you're currently facing, or communicate to you some advice if you're faced with a tough decision, or if you don't know where to go from here. But what's really coming through is that help is here, and the answers are here, and the signs are here. They're among you. The signs and messages are among you, and you need only look around. We also have field of flow, let go of expectations and control. Wow. Release, freedom, surrender. I think there's a lot of overthinking happening in this group, and we just need to let go. It's interesting that you guys were drawn to Apatite, because if I'm not mistaken, this does help with anxiety, worries, being in your head, things of that nature. So this could actually be a very helpful stone for you, and maybe you already knew that, or maybe you were unconsciously drawn to it for that reason. I hope that that's accurate. I'm pretty sure that's what Apatite is for. But yes, it is definitely a calming stone. We really need to let go of things. I think you're holding on to worries that were never yours to worry about, or like burdens that were never yours, because it's already in the hands of your spiritual team, and everything is going according to plan and doesn't need so much concern or micromanagement. I think, we need to stop and take a deep breath and just recognize that everything is okay, and everything will be okay. And I'm super guilty of this, by the way. So if you're going through this energy, I really, really feel for you. So if this does sound like you, then this is probably your reading. If it doesn't sound like you, then this is probably not your reading. But we are going to move on to some further oracle cards now. And so these are going to represent more so your overall energy. While this is more temporary because it's just the energy you're in right now, this is like the bigger picture, who you are as a person, who you are as a soul, and what your main energy is like. So let's take a look at that now. We are starting off with aquamarine, with communication. I believe aquamarine is a birthstone. I always get February and March mixed up, because one of them is aquamarine and one of them is amethyst. Okay, so you'll probably know if it's your birthstone, but it's February or March. We have love, Virgo. Wow, you got 2 number 6s, and group number 1 got 2 number 7s in these cards. And then we have determination. Okay, so your main energy, first of all, your soul is a lover. Like your soul, and yeah, your soul naturally understands oneness and is deeply compassionate and genuinely wants to see everyone happy and thriving and living their best life. And I'm starting to see where some of these worries could come from, because we have Virgo, who is also ruled by Mercury, like this 10 of Swords. Virgo is the problem solver. Virgo is loving and compassionate and nurturing, but they like to show their love by fixing people's problems or helping people to solve their problems. You might have this tendency in your own life. Like you might be very good at helping people fix their problems, very good at giving advice, very good at giving words of encouragement, or even doing practical things, acts of service, or hooking someone up so that they can have an easier time at life, or so that they can more smoothly get through periods of struggle. It's like you always know just what to do because you're very good at analyzing the situation and also analyzing people's emotions and what they might need. I feel like this is how you show love. And so people around you might, come to you for advice a lot, or come to you seeking support or asking for help. And I feel like this is something that brings you a lot of joy, like being able to be of service to others, being able to help someone find solutions or help someone come to important realizations in their life. Like you're good at guiding people to the answers, guiding people to realizations, and ultimately helping them improve their life. Where I think your soul might struggle is that your soul comes from a place where we love everyone and everything, and everyone and everything is one. And so you might consciously or subconsciously have this thing where when you see bad in the world or when you see problems in the world, you feel like you personally, group number 2, should or need to do something to fix it. And I think that leads to you being overwhelmed. You could be someone, I feel like you are quite a sensitive soul, and you could get easily triggered or disturbed when you see others in pain, whether it's someone in your life, a complete stranger, a human, an animal, whether you saw it in person or saw it through a screen or heard a story about it. Like stories of others' pain or struggle or conflict in the world, I think could really get to you, because you have so much love for everyone and everything in the world. You really feel that oneness, and I feel like for you it's simultaneously really a beautiful thing, but it can also be a painful thing, especially I think being here on Earth, where there are unfortunately a lot of people who are disconnected and out of alignment and hurting themselves and hurting others and just not making the best choices for themselves. I feel like you can see all that, and that might distress you because you feel that connection to them. But you may also feel the burden of like, I need to do something to fix this. And so I just feel like, yeah, you're highly sensitive, and existing can be very overwhelming at times. But then it's like, what do you do? I don't want to mask the love I feel for everyone. I don't want to numb myself. It's like I'd rather feel all of this than than not feel anything and be disconnected. I think that your soul is just naturally like a nurturer, a protector, a healer, and very clever and very intelligent, because it's like you can see the unique tapestry of each person's life and see like the best path for them. You might be someone who, I'm just thinking of, sometimes I see tarot readers who say they're very good at reading for others, but then like, because they can see it so clearly, but then when it comes to reading for themselves, it's more difficult. And I could definitely see this group being like that. Like, it's very easy to see what others should do and what path makes the most sense for others, but then like when it comes to making decisions for your own life, then you could really, really overthink. With communication here, the first thing that comes to my mind, first of all, this aquamarine looks beautiful. I could stare at that forever. That's just such a beautiful picture. The first thing that came to my mind with this is that you have a very beautiful voice, like a siren, like a mermaid. You may have a connection to the ocean or like mermaids or marine life, because we have aquamarine here, we have jellyfish here, and then this, I know this person has legs, but just something about them makes me think of a mermaid. Maybe it's like the long hair and they look kind of like ethereal. So you could be drawn to aquatic worlds. You could have origins in aquatic worlds. Yeah, there's something very soothing about your voice. You could be an amazing singer, but I was going to say you could be a very powerful channeler, channeling messages from the divine, or even channeling messages from beings in other worlds, or ETs, so to speak. And yeah, I feel like these two are meant to be next to each other. Like, you communicate with love. I feel like you always speak with such kindness and consideration, and you can always get your point across in a gentle way. And these two cards together is really bringing out like the nurturing vibe of Virgo, because they do have that quality of just wanting to see everyone do their best. I also think that I think every human can experience envy and jealousy, but I think that is very, like, there's a very low level of that in you. I think there's a very low level of feeling like you're in competition with others, or like if someone else is succeeding, then that means there's less for me, and so I should be jealous of them. Like, I don't think that's something that comes very naturally to you. But with that being said, sometimes we see star seeds. You guys might resonate with being a star seed. Sometimes I see star seeds who are just like very confused by human behavior and like what humans care about and what humans don't care about. And they just feel kind of out of place. While I definitely feel like there are some things you don't necessarily relate to, like you may not relate to being jealous of others, you may not relate to like wishing ill for others, but you can logically understand why a human might feel that way. So it's like even the things that you can't personally relate to, I think you can logically sympathize maybe with people. Like, I don't feel that way, but I get why you would if you were like disconnected from the truth of who you are and like disconnected from the oneness that we all share. I feel like that wasn't the best wording, but I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, the energy coming off from you is very pure. And then we have determination, which I'm taking very literally. I think you may have a challenging life in terms of external circumstances, but also a challenging mind. Like just dealing with your mind could be tough. I mean, that's the human mind, right? But I don't think that you're pessimistic. I don't think that you give up. I don't think that you become a victim to it. I'm thinking of that picture of like the I think it's a hamster in a car, and it's wearing sunglasses, and it says the horrors persist, but so do I. I feel like that's your energy. Like, yes, there is BS going on in my life, but I'm not about to quit. I'm not about to let it defeat me. No matter what happens, you're gonna keep going. I also think, just given everything we've seen about you in this love card, I feel like this determination could also be interpreted as like a very strong loyalty that you have. So when you're committed to someone, when you're in a partnership with someone, you are very determined to make it work. The sun at the top of the mountain, it's really symbolic of overcoming obstacles. So I think you don't easily give up on people as well. Like, you really want to fight to make it work. And, you know, on the topic of not being able to relate to the behaviors of people, that could be something also that you don't understand, like why some people treat each other as disposable, or just leave at the first sign of trouble, or leave when it becomes inconvenient. I feel like you are just a very loyal and committed person to anything you do, and you'll try everything before you, like, you won't quit unless you know you've really tried everything. Okay, so we are going to look at your aura now. So I'm going to use these crystal cards to do that, and this is going to be both like the overall feeling of your aura, the feeling that you exude, as well as what it looks like. So we will look at some potential colors of your aura. But already there's a lot of blue going on here. What represents group number 2's aura? What are the energies and colors that represent group number 2's aura? Okay, so we have Numerology with strength. I am strong in mind, body, and spirit. And we have the color black, which is like protection, absorbing negative energies and releasing them. So you know, also black is very opaque. You know, like light cannot, what am I trying to say? It blocks out everything. So you could have a very, very strong energy field around you when it comes to like energetic attacks, when it comes to other people's negative intentions, anything like malicious or malefic. Like this just makes me think of a very opaque, powerful field, and like nothing can get through. I don't think this is meant to come through as like a nothing can get through to you, because we've already seen that you have a high degree of empathy and a feeling of connection to others. So I think that this, you know, black and protection energy is more so about like negative energy cannot harm you. If anyone was ever, like if there was an evil eye sent to you or a psychic attack sent to you, like it cannot permeate this protective layer that you have on your aura. Anyone who tries to send something like that to you, I feel like it will just bounce off and go right back to them. And even this person, it looks like they have a force field around them. So that's what this really is. This Numerology, it's a force field. I do believe many of you may have connections to other star systems, but I also think you have a strong connection to Earth. If I'm not mistaken, Numerology is like the oldest or one of the oldest stones that we have on this earth. And so maybe you have incarnated on Earth for a very long time, or in a completely different era of Earth. Like maybe you were here as a mammoth or a dinosaur or something like that in the early days of Earth. And then, you know, you went somewhere else and came back to Earth. But I do think your, oh no, I was gonna say, I do think your soul has a soft spot for Earth. And then I just saw this image. It was like your soul coming back to Earth after a really long time and being like, what is going on? What happened? Like when you haven't been to a place in a long time and it's like completely different and you're just like, oh geez. Okay, yeah, but definitely your aura exudes strength and power, but I think it's not an overbearing power, it's a gentle power. It's a silent power. It doesn't need to yell about how strong it is. But it will fight if it's provoked. It's that kind of energy. Let's get one more. And then we have Libyan gold tektite with manifestation. I manifest positive outcomes. And what did this one say? Oh, I am strong in mind, body, and spirit. Yes, you are. So, and this looks kind of like sparkly. It has some flecks on it. So, and it's interesting, we have a really bright yellow here too. And this is very similar to group number 1. Like you have blue, you have yellow, and then I think this black is representing, this could be an outer layer that you have, like a protective layer. Interesting. Similar to group number 1. I don't know if you guys were drawn to that one as well, but it's worth mentioning. With this number 6 here, 6 is the number of the third eye, so this could be indicating an open third eye chakra. I would say the throat as well, because we have the message of communication here, the throat and the third eye, which again, I feel like you guys would be amazing channelers. And oh, also like Libya or the surrounding area could be significant to you, like if you live around there or have roots from that area or maybe had a past life around there. And oh, 6 could also be like a life path 6, the month of June, the 6th of a month. But let's finally get into, where do I want to put this? I don't know. Let's finally get into our tarot. And so here we are going to see how your energy affects others and how they perceive you. In this part of the reading, I'm just going to say they, so it's up to you who that they is, whether you want that to be just people in general or a specific they, so like a specific person that you have in mind or a specific group of people. So if you do have a specific someone in mind, just focus on them as I'm shuffling, but I'm just going to say they, like they perceive you to be XYZ. Okay, how do they perceive group number 2? I'm just remembering I took 3 for group 1, so I'm going to take one more for you guys of the crystal. Okay, so we have green, yellow and green and black, and we have chrysoprase with nurturing. Yeah, exactly. Just reiterating what we've already talked about. I open up and allow myself to be nurtured. So the same way you're so nurturing for others, I think it's definitely important that you allow yourself to receive that energy as well. Yeah, it looked bare. I was like, I feel like I pulled an extra one for group number 1. Yeah, and there's something about flecks in your aura. Like you could be yellow with flecks of green or green with flecks of yellow. Or blue with flecks of green or some combination like that. Okay, so let's for real get into this part. How do they perceive group number two's energy? We are starting off with the Two of Swords. Then we have the Sun, the Page of Wands, the Moon. Oh, the Sun and the Moon. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Interesting. Okay. I feel like many of you were asking about a specific person, but I will just say they. The main energy, which is at the bottom of the deck, is the Eight of Swords. And this lets me know that they have an impression of you that you are holding back in some way. And I think what it is that they feel there's a deeper part of you that you are not showing, and maybe they see little bits of it every now and then. It's interesting that we have like this Two of Swords, which indicates a duality. And then we have the Sun and the Moon, which are kind of, you know, they're yin and yang, essentially. And so there may be one that you favor, one that you show more, and then another one that stays more hidden. And whoever this is, they can kind of sense that you are holding back or that you are suppressing one side of your energy. I have a feeling for many of you, actually, I don't know, but I was gonna say, I feel like for many of you, it is this side that you hide. So this is the playful, exuberant, carefree, childlike side. The loud, funny, boisterous, outgoing side. The silly side that I feel is more hidden or suppressed in you. And then this would be the more calm and serene energy in this case. You might come across as, you know, composed, calm, hardworking, rational, responsible, a little bit too hard on yourself at times, but I'm seeing that like something with a lot of pressure building up in it, and like it's gonna explode. They perceive that you may be like holding things in, repressing raw emotions, and that like deep down you just want to let loose and be playful and be carefree, or like scream at the top of your lungs. Like there's this explosive energy that has been compacted and suppressed in you. That's what they would see in you. Both sides of you are beautiful, but with the Two of Swords here, it seems like there's this false idea that you must be one or the other. This could also be indicative of masculine and feminine energies, so you may very often like operate in your masculine energy and suppress the feminine, or very often operate in your feminine energy and suppress the masculine, because of this false notion that it's one or the other. And I mean, I feel like even just in the world, it's constantly this like, you know, men against women and women against men. And, you know, masculine and feminine energy, it's not the same thing as man and woman, but I feel like all like men, masculinity, things that are masculine, and like female feminine things. You get the picture. It's like they're very often put at odds, and it's like who's right or who's better. And so it would make sense if in some ways we internalize that they're at odds and that it has to be one or the other, or that one is good and one is bad. And so there may be one that you're kind of favoring, and they see that there's like another part of you that wants to come out. And this is why I say, like, for many of you, this is probably a specific person, because I feel like they would have to, you know you for a while and observe you in different situations to be like, oh, group number 2 is holding something back, or like there's a facet of group number 2 that wants to come out. That seems more like an opinion someone would have if they personally knew you over some time. But you never know. Even, maybe even brief interactions could hint that a little bit. But yeah, it's like it looks like there's one side of you that is being tied up. It could also be, so if I interpret it in the opposite way, it could be that there's a side of you that is deeply spiritual, that is quiet, that is introverted, that is artistic, that is very sensitive, and you have to mask that to be this. Oh, everything's fine and dandy, and I'm super social, and I like to be out and about, when really you just want to like retreat in the woods and meditate and like, I don't know, and make art for months at a time. So it could be like you portray yourself as this when really this wants to come out, or you portray yourself as this when really this wants to come out. But yeah, it's like one side of you is imprisoned. And it could be just for survival, like society is requiring me to be more of this sun person, and so my like introverted, serene, spiritual, introspective, artistic, sensitive self just has to go away for now because that's not what's going to get me by in society. Or I have to be this calm, collected person because this silly child is not going to get me by in society, like whichever you resonate with, or maybe you resonate with both. It could definitely be just a survival thing. It could be that one side of you was scolded or punished or belittled in your earlier life. But whoever this is, they sense it. Like the wholeness of you wants to come out, and the wholeness of you wants to be experienced and loved. We have the Empress and the Nine of Swords underneath too. Like anxiety and overthinking. We have the Empress in reverse, and in the upright she's abundance, like unconditionally loving and accepting yourself and feeling yourself and being your best self. And I think whoever this is, they have so much love and admiration for you, but they see that like it's not the full you that is coming out and being expressed. And this hidden side of you, it's like they've just seen it in little moments, and they would love to see more of it. And actually with the Empress here and with this Page of Wands, I also want to say that whoever this is, find you very physically attractive, or people in general find you to be very physically attractive. And also that you're very intelligent and witty, and you have a great sense of humor. And there's like a sassy side to you, or maybe a sarcastic side to you, or a little spicy a little spicy side to you that is very enjoyable. And you shouldn't hold it back. You might be a good comedian, because it's like you're very observant and very clever, and I think you're naturally funny. I should also mention we have Leo energy here with the sun, Pisces energy here with the moon, And then we have Taurus and Libra energy here with the Empress. Lots of Gemini coming through as well. Like, I know we just kind of peeked at this, but the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords are all Gemini. And then Libra again. And then fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. I'm naming a lot of signs for these readings today, but... Oh, and then Virgo. Is that all the signs? Because it sounded like most of them. But anyway, yeah, I would say this is how they view you, whichever you chose to hear about. And with the Page of Wands, it's interesting because pages are indicative of new beginnings. And, you know, we had that message at the very start of your reading. There's an ending coming in your life, but from that will come a beautiful new beginning. And there's already signs that this new beginning is about to happen if you look around. So I feel like the Page of Wands is really confirming that, and that you'll feel, you know, this is a very draining energy. This is a very energizing energy. So whatever has been stressing you out or exhausting you or just draining your energy or making you feel not like yourself, when this current cycle of your life closes out and the new cycle begins, you'll feel a lot more energized, confident. This is similar to group number 1 as well. A few similarities between those two groups. If you guys felt called to group number 1, you might want to watch it, or maybe you're coming from group number 1, but I've noticed definitely a few similarities between you two. Yeah, this is a fresh new start, like full of excitement, full of wonder. And so I would say they really believe in your potential. They just wish that you would be more free, like that life would allow you to be more free, or that you would free yourself. They wish that nothing externally would hold you down, and if something is, they wish that it would go away, because like all they want is just to see you being your carefree, authentic self, and for the world to see that, to see the Empress that you are. Yeah, what a sweet message. So I think those are all the messages I have for group number 2s, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, which I think I forgot to say for this group as well. I meant to say it at the beginning. But thank you to the community on Patreon for suggesting this reading topic today. And if you would like to decide future reading topics and access over 70 exclusive timeless pick a card readings, then definitely consider becoming a member. We have a really, really lovely community there. Everyone is really kind. So that will be linked down below. I'm also going to link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and also I will have my latest release linked down below, and then finally my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I'm very grateful to have you here, and I'm sending you lots of love, and sending love to anyone, any specific person or people who appeared in this reading. Sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms, and your star family too. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s. So if you guys chose the green opal, this is going to be your reading. I just want to quickly mention, because I keep forgetting to do this in the intro, thank you to the community over on Patreon for suggesting today's reading topic. And if you guys are not part of that community and you would like to access a ton of exclusive pick a card readings as well as suggest topics for future readings, then I will have that link down below. But without further ado, let's get into your reading. This is the list of what we're going to be covering today. I pretty much mentioned all of this in the intro, but just in case you missed it and you wanted to see the full breakdown, it is right here. feel free to pause the video if you want more time to read through it. But like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to start off by taking a look at your current energy. So the energy that you're in right now at this particular point in your life, and the outcome that will come from you being in this energy. And so this part of the reading is like a check for you to see if this is your group, if you resonate with the current energy. So let's get started. The card that is representing group number 3's current energy is the Seven of Pentacles. So you guys who chose this group, you are in an energy of waiting. Things seem to be at a standstill, or we may be waiting to hear back a result of something, waiting for a reply from someone. This could also be like you've put in great effort, you've invested time and energy into something that you would like to see prosper, come to fruition, bless your life. And it's like you've put in the work and now we're just waiting for something to happen. Or if you are manifesting, this would be, you've planted the seeds of your manifestation, you've set your intentions, perhaps you've done a ritual, you've done what needs to be done, and we're just waiting to hear back, or we're waiting to get back the fruits of what we have put in. But this is definitely a slow energy that requires patience, and so that's why I say you're in like a waiting energy, or some of you could feel like you're in a standstill, or like a period of stagnation, or just a slow period in your life. So let's see what the outcome is in this situation. We have rest. So definitely we're being encouraged not to fight this energy. I think if things are slowing down in your life, this is definitely a time to embrace that slowness. I also think this is a confirmation for those of you who were worrying, should I have done more, or did I do it wrong? Did I plant the seeds wrong? Is that why this isn't coming? This card is saying no, it's just a matter of time. So you don't need to stress about it. I know that's much easier said than done, but you don't need to stress yourself out about it. You don't need to be like trying to do more or hustle more to make things happen faster, because it's already on its way. It's not really the vibe right now. I think it's time to embrace the slowness, to slow down. If you can, to maybe get your mind off of this thing that you're waiting for, or that you are manifesting. It cannot be rushed or forced right now. And you just need to know that you did everything on your end, and the rest is just time. It's just waiting. But I really feel with this card that everything is okay. This card says that right now your mind and body are wanting rest. This says to set your hard work aside, to set your hustles aside for now, and just give yourself a break. And it's also complimenting you for being able to do that, which is really nice. I think it's in a lot of our natures, unfortunately, especially in this day and age, to feel guilty about resting, or to feel like we're not doing enough, and also just to worry like, did I not do enough? Did I do it wrong? Should I be doing more? Should I, whatever it might be, like just worrying that something's wrong when things are taking time. And so this card is saying like, the you who is able to put all of that to the side and just allow yourself to rest and just trust that everything is going to be okay, that you is so amazing, essentially. Beautiful message. And we also have Sky Library, learn from your past, lessons, guidance, and wisdom. So this may be a time where, rather than just moving forward and moving on to the next thing, we're really wanting to take a break and reflect on where we came from and how far we've come. This will be a challenging energy for those of you who are always wanting to keep busy and move on to the next thing and go higher and achieve more, because life isn't like constant moving up. There's periods of rest like we spoke about, and there's also periods of reflection and periods of celebration. I think we're always striving for the next thing, but Your spiritual team is just wanting you to appreciate how far you've already come and maybe look back on some of your past achievements and past lessons, and maybe looking to your past experiences will help you get a better idea of where you're going or where you want to go. Interestingly, we have the shelf that says past lives. So this may be a time where you feel called to revisit some of your past lives, or maybe you have had some of your past life experiences find you in a dream, or like a book you read, a movie you watched that hit you in a really intense way because the scene mirrored something that happened to you in a past life. It could be a stage of your life where you're either searching for those past life memories or they're coming to find you, but there's a feeling of your past revisiting you. And this is not really a stage of your life of just rushing forward and rushing to the next thing. We're kind of here, we're vibing here, we're reflecting on where we've been, we're reflecting on how far we've come. That's the kind of vibe, just slow, leisurely, and more of a reflective and introspective energy, I think. Yeah. Like, where are you going so fast? That's the feeling. Yeah, so if there's something that you guys are waiting on manifesting, it does seem like it's going to be a little while, but it's not because anything was delayed or anything was blocked. I think just divine timing would have it that it happens a little bit later on your journey. Okay, so if this sounds like an energy you're in, or if this message resonates with you, then this is probably your reading. If it doesn't, then this is probably not your reading, but we are going to get into the rest of our oracle cards now. So while this was more of a temporary energy that you're in, just like your energy at this particular point in your journey, these cards are going to represent your more long-term overall energy, like who you are as a person and as a soul. So let's take a look at them. We are starting off with, it's maybe Cuprite or Cuprite, I'm not sure, with Rites of Passage. We have, why can't I read, Relationship Change with the number 56, which reduces to 11 in case that's a relevant number for you. We have Mercury and Balance. Okay, with this Rites of Passage card, I feel like this particular lifetime for you, this particular incarnation that you're in right now, it is a very important one for the soul. This may be a lifetime where you are mastering a lesson that you have been working on for many lifetimes, or you're reaching the culmination of a journey that you've been on for many lifetimes. For some of you, perhaps what you are manifesting or like what you're working on right now has actually been a labor of many incarnations. And it is heavily tied into your like overarching spiritual path. Some of you, this may be your last lifetime with certain souls, or your last lifetime without certain souls. So like if you've been through a lot of incarnations not being able to come into union with certain souls, like this lifetime might be the end of separation. It could also be for some of you the last lifetime that you'll have on earth, at least for a long time. Like maybe you'll go somewhere else for a while, or maybe you will take a break from incarnating and you will just float around as a soul. When I was like 2, I told my mom that I miss my old life where I could just float around and do whatever I want. And I think I was talking about just being in the soul world and not being incarnate. So you might just chill. You might just chill for a while. But this lifetime that you're in right now, it does feel like a big, like a climax, a culmination. And you will graduate after this lifetime because you've accomplished a major goal, learned a major lesson, like ended a karmic cycle, or like come into a really important union, or all of the above. But yeah, it feels very significant in the future, when you're in this sky library, you'll probably look back on this lifetime with a lot of fondness. And I also think you need to hear that message because I don't know if you have this experience in life, but whenever I'm in an era of my life, I'm like worried about shit. I'm stressing out, you know. But then a few years later, I will look back on that time in my life and be like, oh, that was so nostalgic. That was so lovely. And kind of wish for the simplicity of that time, even though when I was in that moment, I was stressing about random stuff. All of that kind of melts away when I look back on it and I just see the nostalgia and the younger version of myself and like, oh, I wish I just enjoyed that time more because now it's gone. And so your soul may be bringing this message, like, really enjoy this incarnation that you have now because there's a lot to enjoy, and one day we'll be looking back on it in this library like, oh, little human group number 3. And what a life that was. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I read this card, but I didn't realize, like, right next to this rite of passage and this reducing to the number 11, and also, yeah, I can see why it's relationship change, because like change, and this is like love and relationships, 5 and 6. It can be interpreted in such a way. So all of that to say, this may be a very significant lifetime for your relationships. Like ending soul contracts with certain souls, or like I said, coming into a very significant union. It could also be both, like ending soul contracts so we can welcome new fulfilling relationships into our life. I feel like with this card coming out, actually with both of these coming out for your overall energy, you maybe have felt throughout your life that you are just meant to do something extraordinary. You are meant to do something special. You're meant to do something big. And maybe some of you know what that is, like a certain profession you're meant to do, or like a certain way in which you are meant to help the masses or inspire the masses. Others of you, you might not know specifically what it is that you're meant to do, just that you're destined for greatness. And I do think that that's true. And I also think that some of you throughout your life may have had this feeling of like looking for your real home, looking for your real family, like your tribe. So maybe you felt that you didn't fit in within your family or within your friend groups at school, for example. Maybe you felt that you didn't fit in within the culture of your town or the culture of your country. It could be on a big scale like that too, or just people you meet, it didn't feel quite right, and your soul knew like that your true soul family was out there somewhere. I think you were kind of born into this world with a knowing that you were longing for something, but maybe weren't sure what it was. And so I think a lot of you are now in the process of uncovering what it is that your soul has been like hungering for, if that's even a word, for so long. Like, this is the greatness that I was destined for. This is the soul that I was searching for before I even knew who they were. It's like you came to earth knowing that you were looking for something, and then that something gets revealed to you as you go about your life. I do think for this coming up with your overall energy, you are part of a very powerful soul group that you will always feel connected to. And with Mercury right next to this could be a sign of telepathic communication that you have. That could be a gift of yours. I do think that you can more or less do this with any soul. Like, you can maybe hear or sense what others are thinking or feeling, or even in the spirit realm, like even someone who's not incarnate, you can communicate with them, or you can communicate with the higher selves of people who are here on earth. but you have a strong gift of like telepathic communication. I feel like you can also send messages to people. Like if you wanted your friend Jane to text you, you just have to like think about Jane or send that message to her, and then in a few moments she'll be texting you, and she might not realize that she received that telepathic message from you, but you're very good at sending those and having people get the message. But I think with your soul group, you have a really, really strong psychic connection like that. With balance here, it looks like this circle is trying to turn until it fits with the background. And so again, there's this feeling, it feels like you guys, for a lot of your life, have been just trying to find your home, trying to find where you belong, or trying to just find your truth and what makes sense for you. And I think something that, and this kind of reminds me of the start of the reading, but something that will be a lesson for you, and that is a lesson I think you're working on in this lifetime, is honoring your longing, like honoring the longings of your heart, while at the same time being content and grateful with where you currently are. So if you're living on this side of the world and your heart is really, really craving to be on the other side of the world because of a deep knowing that your soul has, it's like, how do we honor that longing but still feel happy being on this side of the world, and not like resent that we're on the wrong side of the world, or feel like we can't be happy until we're on that other side of the world. So it's like saying to your soul, yes, I hear you. Yes, I desire this. Yes, I want to go there. Yes, I will go there. But for the time being, I'm here, and there's things for me to be happy about here, and I'm also going to honor my present moment, because this moment is just temporary and I want to really embrace it. And that's a hard balance. And I think that maybe like a big theme of your life is knowing that there's something out there meant for you, and just having to be patient and know that it will come when the time is right, and in the meantime really live in your present moment. Learning to manifest like gracefully or easily or peacefully, I think, is also a big lesson in your life. Like manifesting without worry, without stress, without the feeling of like forcedness, detaching from the outcome is a big lesson as well. But you'll see, like when it all comes through, when it all manifests for you, you'll see, oh, that's why I had to be patient. That's why I was encouraged to detach. Like it will kind of all make sense when everything comes through. So the next thing we're going to do is look at your aura. So this is going to be both like overall how your aura feels, what your aura exudes, as well as what it looks like. So that would be the color of your aura. So we're going to look at some energies and some potential colors. We have orpiment with success. I am successful in all that I do. And that is beautiful. It's like reddy orange on the inside, yellow on the outside. We also have prenite with trust. I trust myself and the divine flow of the universe. Exactly. And we'll get one more. Group number 2 got a black stone as well. Shungite, discipline. I practice the art of discipline and it brings freedom to my soul. So when you look at these images, you might resonate with one more than the other, where you feel like your colors are, or you might have a mix of all of these in your aura. You can definitely have multiple colors, but it looks like you lean towards like the orange, yellow, green side of the color wheel, which is interesting because it matches, like, this kind of matches the color of the stone that you chose. It has yellow and green in it. Orange, yellow, green. Interesting. With black here, I think it's kind of similar to a message that came out in group number 2, which is that you do have a very strong protective layer around your aura. Yeah, I practice the art of discipline and it brings freedom to my soul. So we had a message of, yeah, you'll be successful in all you do. You just need to trust the process, because discipline, it's like showing up consistently for your goals. And that's really hard to do when you don't trust that you're going to be successful, when you don't trust that in your ability to manifest your desires. And I also want to mention, because this is something that's been really like brought to my attention recently, sometimes it also takes discipline to rest, because there's that part of you that's constantly urging to be productive and that you shouldn't be resting right now and making you feel guilty. And it also takes discipline to put that part of you at bay and say, like, no, we're not going to stress about work or whatever it is. We're not going to be checking our work email. We're just going to be relaxing. That is also discipline. Yeah. So for the last part of this reading, we are going to move into the tarot. So this part is going to be how your energy affects others and how others perceive you. Throughout this part of the reading, I'm just going to be saying like they. But if there's a specific person or people whose perception you would like to know about, then you can think of they as referring to that person or those people. Otherwise, it will just be like others, people in general. So it's up to you if you want it to be a general they or a specific they. But if there's a specific person or people whose perception of you you'd like to know about, just keep them in your mind as I am shuffling. How do they perceive group number 3? How does group number 3's energy affect them? We have the 8 of Swords, which group number 2 got as well. We have the 4 of Wands, wow. The 6 of Swords. The 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness. And then at the bottom of the deck we have the Page of Swords. So I guess we should mention zodiac signs that are present here. I've been doing that for all of the groups. We have air signs coming through with the Page of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy. Here we have Pisces, more particularly Mars in Pisces. Here we have Aquarius, more particularly Mercury in Aquarius. And then we have Venus in Aries and Jupiter in Gemini, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So it would be very cool if you or someone significant was like Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Mercury, Venus and Aries, because that's like a possible combination. And then if they had this Mars and Jupiter, that would just be too insane. But okay, let's get into this. The Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups are like the two happiest cards in the whole deck. If you would get just one of these, I would already say it's a very happy reading, but the fact that you have both, it's like jackpot. So I definitely think that you make people so happy. There's a lot of people who are so happy that you exist and so happy that you are here and just grateful to be in your presence. And something that's coming through, I want you guys to know, if you resonated with that message of feeling not at home in this life and feeling like your soul wants to find their home, even those that you wouldn't consider your home and your family, they love you and they're really happy to have you. So, you know, going back to that analogy of you're on this side of the world, but you want to be on that side. Even if you don't really feel at home or feel your soul family on this side of the world, it's coming through that all the people who have got to know you on this side of the world, all the people who have got to experience life with you, they feel a connection to you. They really love you. They're really grateful for you. Even if like deep down you're wanting to go all the way over there, just know that like wherever you go, you make that place better. Wherever you go, people love you and they're happy to have you there. There's a lot of people who love you, or even if they've had short interactions with you, they really liked your energy. You are the type of person who brightens up people's day. I get the feeling you're the type of person who, even if it's just a brief interaction with a stranger, like you'll smile, you maybe will compliment them or just be friendly or polite. The little things that you do, because of how much loving energy they're charged with, it really makes a difference in people's lives. And even this Six of Swords, it's like moving from shitty energy into peaceful energy. So it's like someone could be having the worst day and then you just compliment them, or you just send them a kind text message, or you smile at them on the street, or whatever it might be. And just that little slice of your energy could turn their day around. I think you are someone who puts out a lot of positive energy into the world. You put out a lot of positivity, and so it will come back to you. Yeah, you will be protected on your journey. There may be stresses, there may be things that you worry about, but things will always show up when you need them. Answers, resources, opportunities, they'll always show up when you need them. It's like the universe keeps their eye on you and gives you heads up and gives you, I don't know what it's called, like a leg up maybe? You have that special help. You have that special help from the universe. And maybe it's because of just how much positivity and how much joy you spread. There could also be a message here that kids really love you. Or like, yeah, just like pure and innocent souls, I feel like are drawn to you because they sense that same energy in you. With the Page of Swords here, I think that they perceive you, people or whoever you're thinking about, they perceive you as someone who is intelligent, curious. You definitely give off the feeling to others that you are destined for greatness. So the same way you might feel that about yourself, I think others get that impression when they meet you and when they talk to you. And also they think that you're someone who's lived a very interesting life and a very eventful life, whether you feel that way yourself or not. And maybe that's actually why you're feeling called to look back on your past. I do this sometimes where I forget all the cool shit that I've done in my life. And then, you know, I wouldn't even bring it up in a conversation, not because I'm trying to be like humble or something, but just because my brain doesn't even acknowledge that I did this cool thing. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I did have that really cool experience. I did have that milestone. I did get that awesome opportunity. And my brain just doesn't register it for whatever reason. Maybe because my brain has tunnel vision on a different type of success. My brain has tunnel vision on different goals. But maybe this is kind of hinting, if you were to look back, like maybe past photo albums, or like go through your phone or your social media from your past, you might be like, oh yeah, I did go on that trip. I did get that opportunity. I did have that really cool experience. I did win that contest. You know, I think you have a lot of, and just the way it's coming through is brag-worthy or really interesting stories from your past that you don't really think about or acknowledge. But if even just the act of remembering them, I think would make your life feel a lot more colorful and enriching. And so it's coming through that people, they would feel like you have a really, really interesting life, a lot of interesting experiences, that you're very intelligent and talented. And this is probably why all these opportunities and like cool experiences come to you. There's something about some of you guys may be cultured, like you've lived in different cultures, or you're knowledgeable about different cultures, or you speak many different languages, and I think that's something that they would find really fascinating about you. And I'm hearing innovation as well. You kind of like live in the future, and I mean that in terms of your open-mindedness, your progressiveness, the way you envision the world's future, and the solutions you come up with for like problems that the world is facing. It's like you're forward-minded or you're future-minded. I don't really know how our timelines work, but maybe you have had an incarnation in the future. Like if we're looking from here, 2023, it might be in the future compared to here, or just in a more advanced civilization, in a more advanced world. There's something like open-minded, forward-thinking about you. And I think also just they really appreciate your eagerness to learn and your eagerness to explore. With Mercury here as well. I think anyone who's had a more close relationship with you would say that you're an excellent friend, that you're an excellent partner. People really only have positive things to say about you. You may even be surprised. I hope this isn't the case, but you might be the type of person who worries that people secretly don't like you, or worries that you upset someone, because it just came through for some of you. There may be a person from your past, for whatever reason, you're convinced that if someone were to ask them about you, they'd be like, oh, group number 3, like, screw that person, or I don't like them, they're weird, or whatever it is. But actually, if you went to ask that person, they'd be like, oh yeah, group number 3, like, they were super cool, or, you know, I had a great time when we were friends, or they were a good significant other, whatever it might be. I think there's very, very, very few people who would be like, oh, group number 3, I don't like them. At least far less than what your brain might try to tell you. For some of you, it's like your brain has you thinking that you've pissed off all these people and there's like a bunch of people who don't like you, and that could not be farther from the truth. In fact, you've made really positive impact on a lot of people's lives through your friendship, through your partnership, through things that you've helped them realize about themselves, or just from existing and showing your kindness. These cards show me the immense positive impact that you've had on people in your life. With the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups, If you have a significant other or a spouse, I could just cry from how much they love you and how lucky they feel to be the one that you chose. If this person isn't in your life yet, I do want you to know that they're out there. Like, there is someone who deeply, deeply wants to marry you, wants to be with you, share their life with you. Whether you've met them yet or not, they are out there. And it is coming through that you're an amazing partner. Like, you're an amazing everything. Friend, child, coworker. But specifically, like, because these are life partners, you know. This couple here, this is a wedding. So it is coming through that you make a great spouse, make a great significant other, or you would make a great spouse or significant other. Just because of your loyalty, your commitment, your kindness, and your dedication to growth and expansion. I think that just, it lends itself really well to a partnership, because it's almost like you would, I don't know if this is the perfect wording, but take on that partner's journey as your own and really be like invested in watching them succeed and grow, and also holding them accountable to the best version they can be, of course, all with lots of kindness and compassion and love. And I think anyone who's been with you in that way, if you have that kind of romantic history, I think they felt really supported by you and really seen by you, but I'm hearing in a good way, not in a scary, exposed kind of way, but in a, wow, you really see me, you really understand me, because you took the time to do that. And anytime you would push them to be better, it didn't feel like an attack. It felt like, this is someone who really loves me and knows what my potential is, and they care about me enough to tell me these things. You know, the Page of Swords is someone who can deliver the truth in a very blunt way, or deliver a truth that is hard to hear. So something you might be very good at is being upfront and just telling it like it is, but in an extremely compassionate way. It never comes across as rude or an attack or anything like that. There could even be people who, like, if you ever confronted someone or just like told them the truth even when it was hard, they maybe reacted negatively in the moment, but now where they're at in their life, they would realize that they're grateful you told them that. So if you were to go to them now, they would have only positive things to say about you. There's just, like, your spiritual team really wants to confirm to you that, like, there's no bad blood with someone, or like someone from your past views you in a positive light when you might not think so. Interesting. And I just realized we haven't even talked about this this Eight of Swords yet. It did come out for group number 2, like I mentioned before, and it could be a little bit of a similar message. It would just mean that they perceive you to be holding back a little bit, or suppressing something, or hiding some aspect of your personality. Let's see what it is. What is it that they perceive group number 3 to be holding back, or suppressing, or hiding? We have the Page of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So maybe like a more affectionate, romantic, like lovey-dovey energy, or just a very deep feeling energy. This could also be a playful and carefree energy. If we think of this as the page who's getting attacked with all of these swords, this is like being in your head being too in your head, being too in your mind, which would kill any playfulness that this page has or any creativity that this page has. This group, maybe you're like very creatively talented or artistic, and then you just overthink your work, or you like to the point where you don't even get started, or you overthink it to the point that you don't share it with the world, or you overthink your process to the point where you kind of squash your creativity and what makes your work like unconventional and unique and cool. So if you're a creator, maybe this person, or just people in general, see your work and are like, nah, you could give a bit more. Like, you're holding back, you're playing it safe because you're worried about the criticism you'll receive. There's maybe someone who wants to really see you go all out and make the weird art that you want to make. And I mean that in a good way, like the unique and unconventional stuff. There may also be someone who feels like you're holding back with how deeply you feel, or how affectionate you want to be, or how in love you want to be. Like holding back on your emotions, especially like love and affection, or the attachment you have towards someone. Interesting. But I think those are all the messages. Oh, I also want to mention with these two pages, again, this could be indicating like children really like you, or maybe people see you as being, you would be an amazing parent, or you are an amazing parent. They could also see you as youthful. People might be surprised to hear your age because you appear to be younger in terms of like your looks, I think. But yes, I think that is all. So group number 3s, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Let's save this page from the swords. Please take good care of yourself. I just saw 4242, by the way. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon. Thank you again to the community on Patreon for suggesting this reading. And if you would like to suggest future readings and also access more than 70 exclusive timeless pick a card readings, definitely consider joining our Patreon community. It's really, really lovely. Everyone is so nice and wonderful. So that will be linked down below. I'm also going to link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I'm really grateful to have you here. Group number 3, I'm sending you lots of love, and I'm sending love to anyone specific who appeared in this reading. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 4s. So if you guys chose the Sunstone, this is going to be your reading. I did want to quickly mention before we get into it, because I forgot in the first 2 groups, I wanted to say thank you to the community on Patreon for suggesting today's reading topic. And if you guys would like to decide on future videos, as well as access a ton of exclusive pick a card readings, and you want to join our community, I'm going to have it linked down below. But without further ado, let's get into your reading. So this is everything that we're going to be covering today. I basically said all of this in the intro, so I'm not going to repeat everything, but just in case you missed the intro and you did want to see a full breakdown, this is it. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to read through this. But like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to start off by taking a look at your current energy, so just the energy you're in right now at this particular point in your journey, and we'll see what the outcome will be of you being in this energy. And that's going to be like our little energy check for today's reading. So if what I'm describing does sound like the situation you're in, then that will be your sign that this is your group. So let's get started. For my group number 4s, we're starting off with the 7 of Cups to represent your current energy. So a couple different ways to interpret this. Some of you who chose this group, you may be feeling kind of overwhelmed right now in terms of there's a lot going on in your life and you are not sure what to prioritize. It's like you know that you need to simplify your life and just focus on what's important, but it may be hard to actually determine what is the most important and what should be the priority and what doesn't really need your focus right now. This could also be indicating that you are struggling to make a decision. You have a lot of options and they all seem good. Or maybe you have a lot of options and none of them are really doing it for you, but you just have to pick one. You could be struggling with a lot of options right now, or just a general like lack of direction, uncertainty about the future, lack of direction, not really feeling a sense of purpose or a sense of calling. And so things are kind of just up in the air, or things are kind of murky. You could also in general just be feeling a bit spaced out, a little bit dissociated. And then another interpretation of this is that you could be spending a lot of time daydreaming and just not really on earth at this time. So let's see what the outcome is of you being in this energy. Interesting, we have Earth. So I don't know if this is an outcome as much as it is advice. I think that your spiritual team is encouraging you to come back down to earth and to find grounding practices that work for you. One that I like is just having my bare feet on the ground, like on the earth outside. It's a very simple but effective way to feel grounded and connected to the earth. I also find breathing exercises help, and like breathing really slowly, because it brings me back into my body and focusing on sensations, especially tactile. So focusing on, okay, I can feel the carpet on my toes and I can feel the back of the chair and I can feel my clothing. That helps me to get grounded. Let's see what this card says. So it says that right now, your daily life is very important. Interesting. So your daily habits, or what you're going through right now in your day-to-day life, is very important. So there may be a message to be more conscious of your habits. Maybe there's some habits you need to start, or that you need to break, or that you need to just work more on maintaining. Also, for those of you who feel like your day-to-day life is kind of boring right now, or like just monotonous, I think your spiritual team is saying, like, I promise there's a point to it all. I promise that what you're doing right now is very important and preparing you for the next chapter of your life. And it's important that you stay present in that. You know, we spoke about some of you feeling spaced out or daydreaming a lot, maybe fantasizing a lot. And for some of you, maybe it is kind of a form of escapism. If you're bored or not really happy with the way your daily life is right now, it might be favorable to escape in a daydream or just long for a hypothetical future day where things are better. There's a feeling of needing to live more in the 3D, and I also think to take things at face value and like accept things for how they really are right now and be honest about how things really are right now, because it's only when you do that that you can inform yourself how to change your situation. Like for some of you, it's like there's a need to live more in reality. Maybe some of you need to take a break from social media, because that can really like unground you, I feel. It says feel that you are really living on this planet Earth. Put your feet on the ground, like we spoke about. And it says you are a beautiful earthling who is living realistically. So embracing your earthlingness more. Maybe some of you have been kind of escaping into spirituality or into 5D experiences, and we just really want to be here in this moment right now, in this physical, tangible earth. And we also have Dream Meadow. Create the world you want to live in, visionaries, imagination, and escapism. There it is. So yeah, I feel like some of you, there's just a gap between your current daily life or your current world that you live in and the world that you want to be in. And so I think it's natural that you would like think about it a lot or daydream about it a lot, or get really heavily into, I guess, your 5D experience or into your spiritual practices. But it's almost like that's taking you farther away from making your dream world a reality. In order to make your dream world a reality, you really have to sit in your current reality and feel your current reality and be honest about what it is and take it at face value. To tell yourself then, okay, this is where I am now, this is where I want to be, and what is the difference between current me and dream me? What is the difference between the current state of my connections and my dream connections, my current job and my dream job, whatever it might be? It's like, in order to do what's necessary to get to your dream life, you have to be like really honest and really living in your current life, is kind of the message that is coming through for this group. So if this resonates with you, then this is probably your reading. If it doesn't, then it's probably not. But now we are going to move into the rest of our oracle cards. So where this was more a temporary reading of your energy, just what you're going through right now, this is going to represent your overall energy, like who you are as a person, who you are as a soul, and what your energy feels like. We have black tourmaline with protection. 3 out of 4 groups have gotten a black stone at some point in their reading. We also have karmic completion. We have Pisces. And we have a double number 12. Pisces energy could be significant to this group, as well as Scorpio, because the 7 of Cups is associated with Scorpio. And then we have stop. Interesting. Protection, stop, karmic completion. Did some of you guys end a karmic cycle or like break things off with a karmic partner or something of that nature? Or maybe some of you faced a rejection, or you have been separated from something or someone, and it's coming through that was divine protection, or like it was really time for this situation to come to an end. You learned everything you were supposed to learn, and this situation is not helping you grow anymore. Maybe some of you are dwelling in the past about something that ended that you didn't want to end, but that's living in that past is preventing you from being in the now, and you need to be in the now to create the future that you want. It seems like your mind is dwelling somewhere that is not really serving you right now, into like the past that you can't go back to, or like into a hypothetical future that is not certain yet. It seems like your spiritual team just really wants you to come into the now. And maybe that's hard because the present moment is uncomfortable. With Pisces here, and also just the strong water energy, I do think that this group, you are big dreamers, big romantics. You could be idealist. And these are beautiful qualities that I think just need to be used with discernment, like used in a way that serves you. You're used in a way that builds the life that you want. I also think that you're incredibly compassionate with this Pisces energy, and you're willing to sacrifice a lot to make things work, or to bring about a certain outcome, or even just to help someone. And I think this is also something that needs to be used with discernment. I think your compassion and empathy that you have for others could sometimes, it's coming through like get you with the wrong crowd, or like attached to people who don't serve your highest good, or who don't like love and respect and honor you in return. You've maybe had dynamics in the past where it's like you want to fix people, which I've been there as well. Like, oh, this person is rough around the edges, but I can fix them. Or this person is emotionally unavailable, and so they're not giving me love in the way I want and deserve, but I can fix that. I can change them. I can make them see. You might get stuck in this kind of pattern from like overly idealizing someone, or just that instinct that you have to sacrifice and just like blindly show compassion to someone. And this is not about losing those traits, but just protecting yourself and being more discerning. Because this is like, these are the beautiful qualities of who you are. You know, being a romantic, being like having ideals, being a dreamer, being compassionate, being generous with your energy. These are really rare qualities. And unfortunately, when you're an earthling with these qualities, you do need to protect yourself. I also think this group, you have a really, really strong connection to the spirit realm, which again is a beautiful quality that just needs a bit of protection, because we don't want it to be like you are escaping somewhere or neglecting your earthlingness or your humanness. We may need to bring a little bit more groundedness and practicality into this mix. And I think a hard lesson for you guys in this lifetime is being able to accept what's happening in your 3D life at face value, even though you can see beyond the veil of the 3D. So I'll give a more concrete example of this, but let's say there's this person who you have feelings for, and you can see energetically that their soul is longing for you, or that their soul has feelings for you because of your gifts and because of your sensitivity to energy. You can sense this. But in the 3D, this person is saying, like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. It's like you have to just accept what they're saying, because that's what's happening here in your experience here, and effectively that's what the outcome is going to be here. And I feel like it's hard to do that when energetically you sense that something different is going on. So it's like, how do I continue to see beyond the veil? How do I continue to see what's happening energetically and accept what is being presented to me in the 3D as my reality? Because it's like when you're living on Earth, you do in a sense have to live by Earth's rules and what is being shown to you here on Earth. And it's like, how do I do that without disconnecting from my connection to spirit and my connection to energies? That might be a gap that is kind of uncomfortable for you guys throughout your life, because you are so connected to the other realms, to the non-physical energies. And sometimes they're just contradicting, and that's just how they are. And you can't force the 3D illusion to match what you feel energetically, and you have to just accept what's going on here on Earth. Otherwise, like, you're gonna just be in pain here. it's tricky. It's like you have so many beautiful gifts and sensitivities that I think are difficult to navigate. It's the two fish like swimming in different directions. I think at this stage, you have to really lean into the 3D experience and the practicality. And I think that's almost like a leap of faith for you guys to really lean into your 3D experience. Maybe you fear that you're going to lose your connection to your spiritual side, but ironically, I think it will actually enhance it. The more you can live here, the greater manifesting power you will have. Yeah, grounding and taking this 3D world for what it is like really important to this group right now. And so, you know, I'm kind of seeing it mirroring what we spoke about for your current energy. So this may just be like a big theme in your life. But yes, I think your overall energy is, first of all, highly psychic, highly sensitive, like a very dreamy person. You might have very vivid dreams. You could also sleep a lot or sleep very little. Like something about your sleep is characteristic. And I also think you would be a very talented artist. Whether that's something you want to do or not, it doesn't matter, but I think that talent is there. And just so full of kindness, generosity, understanding. Like a very giving and loving soul. So, now we're going to take a look at your aura. And so this is going to be both the energy that your aura exudes, as well as potential colors and appearance of it. And so we're going to pull some crystal cards to do that. Oh my gosh, Divine Temple Crystal with Source Energy. Yeah, this is my spiritual and psychic group for sure. I am deeply connected to and an expression of the divine source of the universe. So this is white or clear. We have Moonstone with cycles. I am in the divine flow of my soul rhythms and life cycles. Another very spiritual message. Yeah, existing as your temporal self and existing as your eternal self and being fully aware of both at the same time. It can be a lot, but I truly believe you and anyone who is struggling can find that balance. Ooh, oh my gosh. It's interesting because when this card came out, I just saw the multicolored like fabric or whatever it is on it, and I thought that maybe some of you, your aura is like a rainbow color, and so for all of those cards to explode out, I think that's confirming like the rainbow hues for many of you. Yeah, a bunch just fell out at the same time again. And then, oh my gosh, we have Sunstone, which is the stone that you guys chose, and there's a message of empowerment. I am empowered in all areas of my life. Yeah. So we do have, I really feel like white or rainbow is a part of your aura. And then we also have a blue stone and an orange stone. So blue and orange could be like dominant colors of your aura. It could also be just one or the other, like if you feel more like blue is your color or orange is your color. But I think there's like the whole rainbow in you. You've definitely got these energies down. You're deeply connected to the divine source. You are definitely connected to the divine, and I think connected to your feminine energy. And then we also have this message of empowerment. I'm empowered in all areas of my life. And I think since you guys were drawn to the Sunstone, this might be an energy that you really need right now, or an energy that you're really working on, like empowering yourself, protecting yourself, establishing firm boundaries to keep your earthling avatar safe. Yes. So now we are going to get into the tarot for the last part of this reading, and these tarot cards are going to represent how your energy affects others and how others perceive you. I am just going to be saying they for this part of the reading, like they perceive you to be like this, they see you as that. So you can think of this as just people in general. But if there is a specific they, a specific person or specific people whose perception of you would like to know, you can also interpret they as meaning like that person, that specific person. So with that being said, if there is a specific person or people in mind, just focus on them as I am shuffling. How do they perceive group number 4? How does group number 4's energy affect them? We have the 7 of Swords. The Page of Cups. The 4 of Pentacles. And the Queen of Cups. Wow. And then at the bottom of the deck we have the 2 of Swords, which this came out for another group as well. So we do have water sign energy again coming through very, very strong, with both of the court cards being cups. So again, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy could be significant. We also do have a Capricorn sun, as well as a Libra moon and an Aquarius moon. And we have a Scorpio Venus here. So these could be significant placements for you or for someone who is significant to you. But with this coming out as the bottom of the energy card, I feel like there could be like a specific person coming through and their energy is like indecisive about you. Like they can't make up their mind about you. But I think in general, there is a feeling that you are hard to pin down. And it's interesting because water is really hard to hold. Like you can't really hold it in your hands because it will flow out. And like Pisces, I'm thinking of a slippery fish that you can't hold in your hands. You may be someone who people find hard to read, or you may feel that you're someone who is often misunderstood. I also think you likely have the quality of, whether you're doing it consciously or not, I think you have a trait of mirroring other people's energy or sort of adopting traits of people that you spend time with, adopting their mannerisms, their way of speaking, their preferences, especially if you're in an intimate relationship with someone or you have strong feelings for someone, you could kind of take on some of their traits. And again, I'm thinking like water, it takes the shape of the container that it's in. And you want to know something, group number 4s? I went to get like a birth chart reading back when I was in Japan. And, you know, this came out for me as well, because I have a lot of Pisces and 12th house placements in my birth chart. But the reader, it was so refreshing. She described this trait of being, you know, impressionable or easily molded or easily influenced as a good thing. And I had never heard such an interpretation before, and it was just really nice and really refreshing, because I think a lot of the time we talk about that as in like, oh, you could get taken advantage of, or you could get influenced this way or that way. Which, yes, that is true. We do need to be careful of that, especially with this, you know, 7 of Swords. But she said it's a good thing, because if you surround yourself with a lot of hardworking people, then you will become hardworking. If you surround yourself with a lot of optimistic people, then you will become optimistic. So I guess this is a trait for you that could go either way, but if you, with discernment, it could really, really go in your favor. If you surround yourself with people who are committed to living their best lives, you're inevitably gonna, like, that energy is gonna come up in you too. You have that trait of like mirroring the energy that you're around, or being like taken by the energy that you're around. And I think everybody has a little bit of this, you know, the people you spend the most time with are inevitably going to influence you, but you might have this to a higher degree, you know, of taking on or mirroring the energies that are around you. And it could go either way, but it could really be used to your benefit. And I think that a lot of people would say that they feel comfortable around you, or that like you're easy to be around. And that's probably because you are mirroring people's energy. And again, this could be a conscious thing, it could be an unconscious thing, but that's even more importance for you to be around people who make you comfortable, so that you feel comfortable mirroring their energy. Because if you're around people who are not a good match for you, then mirroring their energy is really going to be exhausting for you, like more so than the average person, whatever average person means. So like, you have these rare gifts that I think just need to be handled with care. I think that people would say there is a depth to you that they can't quite place, or an elusiveness or mysteriousness that they can't quite place. And yes, some people might say you're hard to read or hard to understand, especially, and I don't mean this to be like rude to anyone, but especially more like simple-minded people, they might find you kind of hard to understand. Like they can't grasp your depth, especially like the depth or the complexity of your emotions. If someone has a smaller emotional range, like it might be hard to understand you. So I think it's also important, like, that you have other, you know, sensitive and emotional people in your life who can really understand you. But I think that many people would say you just give off like a very pure vibe and a very sweet vibe. Like, I can't imagine someone disliking you for like a valid reason. You know, like, we can't be everybody's cup of tea, but I guess I just can't imagine someone having like a grudge on you or having like a bone to pick with you, you know, other than just like, I don't like them. And you can't dig any deeper than that. With the Queen of Cups here, I feel like this is only more confirmation of the spiritual gifts that you possess, and also that whatever you have in your life, like, you will cherish it, cherish your possessions, cherish your relationships, especially, you know, we see the Queen of Cups who is, you know, she's holding on to her cup because it's so precious. And then next to this, we also have the Four of Pentacles person who is, you know, standing really firmly on his coins and holding on tightly, like he won't let go. So I think that you're incredibly loyal, and I think that when people are with you, they feel secure. They feel like they can trust you to be there. They feel like you're not going to suddenly run away or suddenly change your mind about them. It's like people feel comfortable in your hands. It's just like, I feel like all of these beautiful traits you have can be misused by others, is the way it's coming through. Because for all of your fierce loyalty and compassion, you know, someone could deeply appreciate that and honor that, or someone could take that for granted and say like, oh yeah, group 4 is super loyal, like they're not going to go anywhere, so let me just do whatever I want. Let me just disrespect group number 4 because like they're not going to leave. Like, I think it really takes a special person to understand you and to really treasure you, because you are a really special person. And I just like with this energy and this energy, and I'm like, it makes me sad to see it, but I do feel like you and your energy has been like mishandled or misused, or not that you should be used, but yeah, like mishandled or not appreciated the way that it should have been. But deep down, I see you as someone who has a lot of love for yourself and a lot of love for others. And I feel like you really are committed to your healing and your emotional growth. And I know that you won't give up. Like when I look at these three, there's this young little page, and with consistency and perseverance blossoms into this queen. And I think this is the journey that you are on. It's like you never gave up on your journey. You never gave up on your healing. You never gave up on caring for yourself. Even if you went out of your shell and got burned, or if you got hurt, or if you made a mistake, whatever happened, it's like you pick yourself back up, you hold yourself in your arms, you dust yourself off, and then you go back out into the world as the beautiful soul you are. I feel like whatever happens, you won't let life harden you. And that's like, I feel like that's the most beautiful thing, because I think for a lot of highly sensitive people, it's tempting to just like disconnect from it and shut it all off so that you can exist in this cruel world with minimal conflict. I know, like, I have some of these qualities, and some people who are close to me have these qualities, and I'm always in awe of how like the gentle and sensitive souls just keep showing up in this hard ass world, and they keep showing up as their kind and gentle and sensitive selves, even if they got burned so many times. It's like you're a dreamer, but you're also a fighter. And you're fighting for love, and you're fighting for a kinder and gentler world. And I think you possess a really, really massive strength that could often be overlooked or misunderstood. I just think that, yeah, it's really a matter of who you're with and finding your people. I think there's an overall consensus with anyone who meets you that you're incredibly sweet, perceptive, observant. You have a great deal of emotional intelligence. And also you're a complex being. your views on the world are complex. Like it really comes across that you've put a lot of thought into what you believe. You put a lot of thought into how you see the world and how you see people. So you do come across as very, very deep. And anyone would see that. Whether they understand or not is a different story. But I think anyone can perceive that depth from you. And your loyalty. That's another big one that shines through to anyone. You might come across as quite serious to some people, and maybe you are. Like you take life seriously, you take your words seriously. When you share your energy, you take that seriously. People perceive that from you for sure. And is there anything else to mention? I think we have talked about everything. So these are all the messages that I have for my group number 4s. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon. Once again, thank you so much to the members on Patreon for suggesting this reading. And if you would like to suggest future readings and access over 70 exclusive pick a card readings, definitely consider joining us. We have a really, really lovely community, so that's going to be linked down below too. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I'm super grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. Group number 4, I'm sending lots of love to you, to anyone, like any specific person who may have popped up in this reading. I am sending love their way as well, and sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!